and that's what cost him.
Well, let's see what happens here in this next one as Ryze and Rengar are banned out by Envy for this second champ select. Varus there for Team Liquid. LeBlanc likely going to join. There she is. Banned out by Liquid as well. Let's see where else Envy want to go. Actually taking the Camille away from Lola, which I think is probably a good choice as well.
Yeah, and I think as far as the way Piglet plays mid lane, after 3 matches, Ryze is clearly his favorite champion there. So while he's had good games on the likes of Cassiopeia, being able to ban Ryze, I think, takes down his comfort level quite a lot.
Yep, Jace the last ban there for Liquid, so not an option either there for Envy. I think, again, another smart takeaway from Ninja, who did have a decent game there in that one, although not enough, unfortunately, for them to get over the top. Zigzo is back in the mix. I mean, could be a champion for Ninja, but it's very likely for Apollo, but Lolo goes ahead and takes the Rumble, and Rainover takes the Graves. This does not feel like an even trade to me.
No, it doesn't at all. Graves and Rumble are arguably 2 very high-tier champions. Rumble did fall until ban phase number 2 last game, but with the Jace banned already, the champions that Envy has found the success with, like the Jace Rumble synergy, aren't there this game, so they got to go with something completely different.
Well, Renekton is open, which we've seen, again, rise in overall popularity, but it seems decent into the Rumble, so will be the pick here for Seraph.
Yeah, Renekton is a straightforward pick against the Rumble, can often close the distance through a minion wave with Slice and Dice, threaten him fairly well, and then also have the tankiness to not just get completely steamrolled with the Flame Spitter, which is happening to a lot of top lane, or just champions in general against Rumble.
Well, we'll see what Envy happen on the jungler front. There's actually Lee Sin with Elise open. Rengar not being there means that Leroy is kind of knocked down a peg, but certainly a comfort pick for him. His Lee Sin has gone off in multiple games this season.
His Lee Sin has been really good, and when we talk about Lyra's early game jungle pathing and counter ganking, most of those memories are on his Lee Sin. So, like to see them go with that pick here, as their draft was a little bit disrupted with the Jace ban and the early Rumble takeaway, but still good choice.
And no Draven today for Double Lift, sad face, although we could have a third game where he plays it. Instead, he'll go back to Jhin, at least for game 2.
Yeah, the Draven did not work.
Wasn't amazing.
His debut to the LCS, but Doublelift did say, coming into the LCS, that he's just going to play what's good, what the meta champions are. He will adapt to whatever he feels like is best, and with Varus always being banned this patch and Lethality still being pretty good, Jhin is the choice, and he's consistently going with it.
2 mid laners for either side. The next ban's in phase 2, though. Ahri ban on the Team Liquid side, Cassio on the Envy side, so definitely interesting to see Ahri rise in popularity, but looks like both Piglet and Ninja are kind of trying to find the best possible lane matchup here. I'll see if Liquid just go for a different target ban or continue to hammer down this one lane, because they will get first pick out of the phase. Instead, though, they actually ban the Braum away from Hakuho.
Yeah, and with Malzahar still available, it really speaks to the priorities they feel like Hakuho has for his support pool. I do expect the run on mid laners to continue, though, with the 3rd mid lane ban in phase 2, just because you want to attack a new mid laner's champion pool as much as possible until he definitively proves he can handle it.
Yep, these are 2 strong and straightforward champions at Envy ban, as Syndra was the second one there. Now I guess the choice for Liquid is, if they want the Malzahar, do they take it now? Do they take a mid laner to give Piglet a comfort pick? 10 seconds to make this decision, and it's a pretty critical one at this stage of the draft.
Yeah, Matt has played a few Malzahar games. I haven't necessarily liked his initiation choices, so I think Karma's a much better fit for their team composition, being able to disengage as well as engage. Does leave that possibility open, though. Also
a very good, safe pick there, and blind pick as well for the support matchup, so I like the overall. Karma, incredibly strong. Malzahar, as expected, is the first hover here for Envy. Don't think it's going to be Nasus, but you never know. Thanks, Apollo.
Followed by the less expected hovers.
I think he's mashing around for a bit. There's the Malzahar that we expected from Envy. That's going to go over to Hakuho, and looks like, I assume mid lane is left here for Envy, unless Ninja does want to give Ziggs a spin.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with probably not on that one.
Probably not. The
All right.
Talon,
sure.
Something we called kind of last game, thinking they'd be able to throw it in with the Jace being off the table, and I like that word. Sure. They'll play Talon. That's fine. It's definitely hit or miss, very snowballing, and Piglet gets to pick whatever he wants into it. It's
so interesting to me that Ninja... Oh, please do it. There we go. Woo! There's a set for Piglet. It's like, all right, you want to play an assassin? I'll play an assassin too.
Yeah, and I think Zed is favored in this matchup. A lot of pros do seem to be favoring the Talon for games over Zed, and I think a lot of that is because of his insane mobility in and out of fights, being able to find walls to parkour over. But against a Zed, I do feel like he packs a tighter bucket of damage, and it's going to make it difficult for Ninja to roam.
I mean, this should certainly be a fun test for both these mid laners here. Ninja's champion pool has been very strange. I mean, that's true of his career in general, but I mean, he's been playing like almost exclusively Jace Talon for the last few weeks in the LCS. So, I mean, Jace is banned. He's going to take the Talon here. I like kind of what they're doing with the Ziggs and the Malzahar, mixing some damage. You've got a similar look on the other side for TL, kind of enabling an AD champion mid with the early Rumble pickup. So, certainly, again, a lot of damage between these two team comps. Not a whole lot of tanks looking on the other side. Renekton and Graves are kind of tanky, but that's about it. And it was a pretty chaotic, bloody first game. I'm expecting much the same in the second.
Yeah, and this is actually a pretty peculiar draft. For one, Shen, who's a 90+% priority champion, completely falls through. Malzahar isn't early picked or banned in either of the phases, and then is rarely picked in the second phase of the draft. So these teams showing some different priorities and really just trying to go with comfort this late in the season.
And we've heard it from both these teams multiple times. They do just want to play what works for them. I think these champions are what we expect from the likes of EnVy and Liquid. So let's see how they put them into practice as we are onto the rift for our second bout between EnVy and Team Liquid. Liquid up a game, trying to make the rest of their weekend look a little better with Doublelift's debut back into the LCS, at least this year. EnVy, of course, could force a third game. They have had a good run of individual games. We'll see if they can start with this one.
Yeah, and even just to set the table a little bit for the way the map will play out, EnVy very much in that 1-3-1 strategy with the Renekton and the Talon. They're going to be looking to roam Ninja around and assist Seraph in dueling. Whereas you look at the Team Liquid team, and while they do have natural split-pushing threat, because that is always the case with Zed, this team composition has much better team fighting than you would expect out of a Zed. Mainly because the way it will work is, in an ideal world, Lorlo throws down his Rumble ultimate onto the backline of the opponents, Doublelift opens up with Curtain Call, and then Zed can go in for the executes. It's actually very difficult to play against, and many teams have been running this trio when they can get them for team fighting. It's a good mix of magic and physical damage and has great engagement range.
We'll have to see if Team Liquid can put it all together. Certainly individually, their players are talented, and I think they've thrived in a lot of spots where they can let their mechanics rather than overall map play and strategy really show. Again, they've played scrappy games for a reason. Those are the spots that Team Liquid, I'm not going to say intentionally get themselves into, but often find themselves in due to the nature of their play style.
I agree with you there. Nice, healthy pull. The Apollo Ziggs Q onto the Raptors, really speeding that up. But we get to see a steal. This will be interesting because essentially Seraph warded the red. So he's saying, okay, he didn't start Raptors. And as soon as he sees Lorlo coming out of here, they're going to know that their blue buff is stolen. Now the question becomes, does Lyra immediately invade blue? And how does Team Liquid look to counter that? At least they spiced it up in the early game.
Yeah, it looks like the answer is yes, at least on Lyra's question here, as he is walking immediately over to Team Liquid's blue side of the jungle. Lyra, of course, will be behind as far as those camps go, and he needs to run here kind of sooner rather than later. Oh, that was fun. To make sure he gets his buff before Rainover can come and find him, but Rainover will get a full clear of EnVy's left side of the jungle as a result. That's kind of the advantage you get from an invade. I mean, in a blind invade, if you get the surprise, you generally get paid off at least a little.
Yeah, and this is actually a little riskier than it looks right now as Rainover's sticking around to kill this Gromp. He left a Wolf for a counter jungle, which means he doesn't get level 3 off of the Gromp. And also, Team Liquid never warded their own blue side. So they didn't know if Lyra was going to fully counter jungle or if he was going to try and stop.
Oh, they saw him.
Get away with it. Uh-oh, Matt.
Matt, great satchel there from Apollo. Lyra looking to make the plays again. Flashes on, gets a slow down, and first blood does go to Malzahar.
Man, that was just a poor strategic play by the Team Liquid bottom lane. We were just talking about the jungle pathing, and if Rainover doesn't run into Lyra on the blue side, there's one quadrant where he's most likely to be, and that's exactly where Matt put himself in position to be punished by. And it happens. Lyra does assist on the first blood kill, but Matt and Doublelift should have been hugging their turret.
Yeah, and you can see again, it's just too late here for Matt already, and Apollo sets this up wonderfully.
Yeah, he goes forward toward the tri-brush, when really that is, it's on Team Liquid as a team. That's either Matt and Doublelift needing to understand or Rainover calling out, yo, Lee Sin is probably in the blue buff area. That did not happen there, and it cost him first blood.
Yep, Rainover pops his way up to the top lane, but Seraph already backing off, has a ward to protect that potential attempt from Rainover, so nice there from Seraph to not play too aggressive, although He was trading nicely into Lolo before, and we did check in with the lane. Ninja getting things pushed out with the rake. Just going to move Piglet towards his turret as many times as he can. And Lyra back up to his old habits in the bottom lane. Might be looking for the re-up onto Doublelift.
No
Another good start from Apollo. They're going to want to try and take out Matt, but Doublelift actually tagged. Q's going to land it. He gets it. Lyra takes out his flash and his life.
Oh man, that lane is in so much trouble now. All 4 summoners blown, still up against 3 summoners, and already having 2 casualties.
Lolo have Harpoon. Yep, there we go. Random now going to jump in. Q's in, gets it back off the wall. Lolo diving in for the kill. Seraph does not go down.
Does not calculate the damage. Seraph had 40 health, so a full auto attack left that could not be closed in, and Matt trying desperately to hold up.
This turret is taking an unreasonable amount of damage.
5 minutes.
I mean, Satchel's up, I assume, for Apollo. Should be able to take it. Tower hits, making it tricky.
Oh.
Maybe not this time. Yeah, get out of the way. Satchel charges to safety. Lolo winning damage. Oh, here's Lyra again. Just needs to land this Q. Lolo does not have a flash. Gets slowed up by Lyra. This is all but over here for Lolo. Lyra is going to tag him, and there's his second kill.
And Lyra did this in his last good Lee Sin game. He rushes the mobility boots. It just makes it seem like he is everywhere. The added movement speed is giving him this prep in the lanes, and he's having all of his ganks work. We're going to see this one more time, and as he just easily war jumps into the lane, they know Matt's flash is down, so you expected him to just tunnel onto Matt. But when he saw the opportunity to get that Q on a Doublelift, and if the Q hits, he's able to go in and get the kill.
Yeah, Doublelift just couldn't quite flash out of the way of it. I think maybe he was silenced for a little long there as well. So tough stuff for Doublelift. Great touch from Apollo, sets it up once more, and Lyra capitalizes fully. He's going to be putting the Moby boots into overtime here as he does go top immediately, get himself another kill, and he'll swiftly be level 6 at this stage. And then his ganks get even more threatening.
Yeah, exactly. There's still summonerless on Doublelift and Lorlo. So both of those lanes highly repeatable for ganks.
And then, of course, Ninja, who's almost level 6 himself, has gone back, got that serrated Dirk. Piglet already level 6 with the same item. So, ult from Piglet's really nice, finding an opportunity. Invisible Ninja's pretty hard to kill, though. So Piglet just going to make sure they trade ultimates here.
Yeah, Ninja really just got level 6. Piglet was hoping that wouldn't happen because he still had the Ignite. Holds it for the next time.
Doublelift again getting harassed down.
Oh, dear.
Good follow damage there from Hakuo, and I mean the CS is even, but that's going to try and lock down Apollo for a bit longer. Hakuo going to make him pay, run the Voidling in towards him, and Lyra is back down to the bottom side.
I mean, I really have to ask Team Liquid, would they have rather played against Braum? Really? Like, they want to play against this Malzahar Ziggs lane when they clearly cannot match the shove, losing their turret at 6 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yep, Satchel Charge not even needed, just naturally taking him with a few more auto attacks. Doublelift gonna, I assume, try and get some CS with that Deadly Flourish as Ninja goes back after hopping over the wall. Piglet has done a nice job harassing him out of this lane. We'll see if Ninja can leave it and try and get some roams down. Because, I mean, Lyra's already impacting the side lanes. If Ninja can get there as well and also start roaming, Envy have a very easy opportunity to snowball this game. And they're already almost 3,000 gold ahead. Yeah,
they were able to snowball their game against TSM yesterday when Lyra got super far ahead from the early game. With the 2,500 gold lead to 7 minutes, you would be in position to do that, especially when you've already downed a turret. And the wave clear isn't exceptional for Team Liquid. They just got to keep the pressure up and not make any mistakes, because this early on in the game, if you do make that mistake, you lose all your pressure and the gold swings back pretty quick.
Yep, looks like blue buff steal going to be attempted here. Smites for both junglers, so Lyra going to get it and get out of safety.
Yeah, level 7 on Lyra already, higher than his solo laner in the top side. Not going to stop Seraph from going in, though.
Yep, Seraph going to make a play. Does have the ultimate ready to go. Lolo is silent, going to get himself stunned up. Seraph might even run it all the way under the turret. Not going to go just yet. Equalizer from Lolo is going to take down the wave. Good defensive play there, but Ninja is running up there.
Yeah, this is the long play. Ninja knows Lolo.
Oh, flash in, gets the ultimate daggers down as well. Lolo just needs a little bit more from Ninja, and he bleeds him down to death.
Yeah, let's see if Team Liquid can counter it, though, because they're not stopping, and Talon can only jump over those walls once for a short bit of time.
He's going to jump straight into the arms of Piglet. Piglet immediately ulties, and Ninja doesn't have his left anymore. Piglet, great little hop over the wall, and he takes down Ninja and zips back to the top.
And there's still trouble. It's a little small Karma, but he's got Renekton on the tether.
Level 4 Karma. Not sure how I feel about that roam there for Matt.
Yeah, not much he's going to be able to do. Still able to turn the kill around, though. Nice job by Piglet, really playing that kill onto Ninja right. Still an overall positive play for Envy, though, is they're the ones who get the map pressure.
Nice and clean from Piglet. Again, mechanics never really in question for him as a player, but starting to roam a bit more aggressively. Ninja's first roam is good, but he commits everything to make sure Lolo goes down, and Piglet is already there with the follow. Looks like Matt's going to get some bonus CS, though, as Piglet is notably absent for that cannon.
All right, cannon minion. Good job, Matt.
60 extra gold there for the car. As we'll watch this one again. Ninja, it's a great flash, actually, to start this off.
Yeah, make sure he gets the damage application early. On the ultimate, doesn't let Lolo get into turret range, but then he left that one small area to be able to hop, and that's just the area Piglet is coming from. So instantly, the ult, Piglet just follows over with his shadow afterwards and pops back to his original ult in hopes of closing it on Seraph, but the rest of Envy roamed up to prevent Seraph from falling as well.
Yep, Seraph will be okay. Looks like Lolo is up slightly in CS despite getting quite a lot of pressure in his lane in general, both 1v1 and now with Ninja coming up there as well. I mean, CS in general is looking pretty good for TL. They are good players and good laners, but the gold lead's still holding firm for Envy, and it seems like they're again going to keep the pace up for as long as they can. Kind of surprised they haven't looked towards the Infernal Drake just yet, but looks like Lyria's got a fresh shop in, so that could be their next point of attack as well.
Yeah, and we're kind of waiting for Lyra to make that next big play. He's been level 6 for a while, hasn't gone for anything. Piglet still has Ignite, and Ninja's got to respect it.
Piglet's afraid of something, but there's the ulti down there. I think it's just going to be enough. Lyra, whoa! Where were you? How did you even get there? Double Lift going to get locked down by Haku, and Matt going to try and save him, but there's the ult, going to force the flash from Double Lift. Lyra came out of literally nowhere there for me.
Yeah, we were focused on that 1v1, and Piglet was as well. Ninja just hops over the wall after the equalizer's burned. Tons of spells gone for Team Liquid now, and Envy extend their lead.
Talon is so annoying.
Yeah, I mean, that's the slipperiness, right? When we talk about why teams could prioritize the Talon over the Zed.
Why is Lyra the same level as Lolo? He's actually upper level now as he just dings 9. And you can kind of see how much pressure this Lee Sin's able to put out as Envy get another turret with their Ziggs.
Yeah, and the Ziggs is kind of trying to make up for their range discrepancies in the solo lanes as the sole turret destroyer. But Envy's going to keep going. Lyra's just...
He's bonkers. Going crazy. He's going back in. He wants rain over. Matt now maybe caught out. Apollo's going to cut him off. Seraph back in, though. He's actually TP'd down. Lolo cut off by everyone else, but he's going to try and take Hakuo down with him. Gets himself silence flash, and Marco is going to be followed, but Lyra is just going to keep doing damage. Snipe not there. Apollo blocks it.
Oh my goodness. And Piglet, what are you doing, man?
He's too far forward. Shadow's in.
Take it.
Oh, Lyra goes back in. He wants it, but he's going to get himself killed. All right, that one was ill-advised.
Well, you take enough cues, eventually you're going to have that happen to you. That was not what he should have taken. The entire Team Liquid team was over the wall, but that just kind of speaks to the mindset of where Envy is right now, because everything has been working for them, including the early half of that brawl in the jungle. Still a huge lead for Envy.
That's pretty much the first hiccup there. Lyra does take a death, but not too bad. Ninja hopping around. Going to try and take down, looks like Matt could be the next target. Double Lift's there as well. Ninja wants it all. He's going to try and take the carry out instead. Leaps on top of him. Shadow Assault down. Double Lift goes down instantly, and now Matt going to get bled out here as well. That's a double kill for Ninja. Hops back to him in his rain over. Can't chase him down.
Oh dear. That's not a good sign for Team Liquid. That was actually 1v2. So
the casual 4-1-0 talent is Hakuo chasing down the jungler. There's an ultimate Void Leaks in there. Apollo with the combo, and the last order is gonna not do it. The dot's not there. Potion comes up clutch for Rainover.
Still a good attempt, and it completely pushes them off of the Infernal Drake, which Envy is going to use to extend their lead. This is just an early game display by Envy. We keep saying, like, man, Ninja just seems to be playing Talon and Jace and all these random champions, but when you get the snowball, it can look real good. And if people keep talking about Envy being so strong in scrims, I mean, if they're getting starts like this in scrims, you can see why, because they can play with so much confidence when they have a lead.
I mean, Hakuho almost 1v1 the enemy jungler, and he's their support, so
yeah,
things are going pretty well for Envy.
Yeah, and it's a blessing and a curse for Envy that they keep shooting and making these attempts at plays, because a lot of times when you're a last place team, you'll lose all your confidence and just stop going for the plays. And most of the time, or rather a higher percentage of the time in the split, when Envy goes for the plays, they don't work. They just backfire because their taking risky moves. But when they do, they're clearly willing to have high payoff.
And I think mindset is actually something we're talking about here, because it just feels like, you know, Envy, when they feel like very supremely confident, or maybe when they just feel like there's nothing to lose. I mean, game 1 versus TSM, they had a plan, they came out swinging and just ballooned in both in gold and in general confidence and momentum in that one. Here, they're down again to Team Liquid, played it relatively close in the first one and kind of made a dumb Baron call that lost them the game. But, I mean, if they just say, all right, give Lear a lease in, let's take aggressive champions and just go for it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Lose the series? Well, maybe going to happen anyway, right? Hakuho, though, in trouble from the Gen ulti. Rainover going to try and finish it off. Good little cancel there. Quick draw down, and Rainover grabs on back for TL.
Yeah, a little bit too forward as they're trying to prep the 1-through unrected and Talon killing side lanes. Matt, though, walking over the backfield.
Oh, no. Apollo nails on there with the Ziggs ulti.
He's been practicing.
He certainly has. Very accurate.
Yeah, a lot of Ziggs games. They put such a high priority on Apollo Ziggs in these draft phases. And
again, can kind of see why, as Ninja has never done. Double Lift is like, yep, getting the hell out of the way of the level 11 Talon. And there's another turret down for Envy. Anywhere Apollo goes, he tends to find a turret for his troubles. And Envy going to keep snowballing.
Yeah, and I mean, even from the start of this game, Team Liquid just hasn't been able to assert any control. The very early jungle start wasn't communicated. That started with the first kill down bottom. That gave Lyra the second kill down bottom. Lorlo then, just no one was able to track Lyra in the early game because of his boots of mobility. So, I mean, usually when you have the 3-10 team with an 8,000 gold lead at 50 minutes, it's because the opponent team did a lot wrong. Team Liquid definitely made a few mistakes, but yikes, this is a snowball.
Well, Hakuho goes down at least, so here's something back again. Rainover making it look fancy.
But then right after that, even after the positive play, instead of pathing around the safe way, Matt just walks through with 400 health, and dude, there's a Ziggs there. That one was on Matt.
Well, again, Matt had some awkward moments in the series already. But Team Liquid, you know, we'll see if they can get back in. Envy on the other side. Very happy with what's happening in this game. Apollo's even going to get the blue buff. He's been having a stellar game then. He is the recipient of the big buff. I guess doesn't really need to go to Ninja. And look, by the looks of things, Ninja is far too busy on the bottom side of the map to worry about the blue buff.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like anyone is willing to take him on. Seraph, gonna be in trouble.
Ooh, Piglet gonna leap in there. Lolo as well. Seraph already popped the ulti, but Piglet just gonna keep running through. Deathmark gonna proc. Not quite enough damage. Turnaround is there. Whoa, Piglet. Escape with barely any health. Apollo gonna snipe him down. Doesn't get him either. Piglet gonna try and move out of the way of Hakuho. Flashes in. Lyra gonna try and tag him as well. Looks for the kick. Gets it onto Lolo. Piglet shatters out of the way from Lyra's Q. Hakuho does get the kill onto Lolo, but Piglet may have escaped. Ninja trying to get his way up, but he gets snared up by Double Lift. Good leap over the wall. Now he's got to duke all the bullets from Jin. Last one's not gonna connect. Really nice dodges, and Piglet gets away as well.
Wow, so a flurry of events right there. Able to trade the 1-for-1, so actually pretty good for Team Liquid when they're down this much in gold. Super close for Seraph being able to close in on Piglet in the turret. Just kind of goes to show how difficult it is to take down a Renekton. Just a level 10 Renekton, not even a level 11 Dominus. And why not go for the Rift Herald?
Yep, and no armor either, just the Hex Drinker. So Piglet was doing maximum damage there. I wonder if he's going to get it. I kind of think it's going to be Ninja.
It should be Ninja in these games. It's mainly a split pushing buff. It only really gives you the extra damage when you're by yourself, and then has the damage reduction component as well. Watching this, Seraph does a decent job to prevent Piglet from landing his spells by flashing away right after the application of Deathmark, and then hitting the empowered stun in the turret as well as the previous heal from his Q was nice. Piglet still had flash. Flashes at the last second, and then Hakuho was going to catch him anyway. If Lyra would have immediately queued, I believe the shadow on Piglet was just coming up. It may have been able to catch him.
Yeah, I think
but
he would have
a little bit.
Instead, wants to secure the kill onto Lolo. Doesn't get too greedy. He could have maybe sequenced a little better. Piglet can get his own blue buff now. So Team Liquid again. So making sure they give the appropriate resources over, and gold lead's continuing to grow. It hasn't budged too much from the 8k up, but I mean, we're kind of expecting a lull in the game given how much damage Envy have already done. Yeah. Ninja doing his thing here on the bottom side. They have one Infernal. They'll likely get a second in 25 seconds when that comes back up. And Team Liquid, going to be tough to beat all of this DPS.
Yeah, and Infernal's going to be insane for this team where everyone is building damage. A lot of times it'll be, oh, they have 3 or 4 people building damage. EnVyus 5 this game.
Ninja actually flashes over, wants to assault down onto Piglet, uses the exhaust, bleeds him out, and Piglet is going to go down. Lyra looked for the chaos. Ninja, though, takes it instead.
Yeah, this is getting brutal. And it's interesting, right? Because Envy did pick this team composition that doesn't really have much of a fallback pattern. They have the Lee Sin, Renekton, and Talon. All of those guys have to dive in, and you just kind of hope it works. And when you fall behind, it looks awful because they wouldn't be able to, you know, they'd walk in, Rumble Ult will nearly kill everyone if they fall super behind. But for all those people asking, like, man, why do people keep picking Talon, or why do people keep picking these full physical teams with just a Ziggs bottom lane? It can work
yeah.
Some of the time.
I mean, Envy, they got one plan, but it's a pretty good one. At least working out in this game. They're going to try and assault the mid-tier 2 turret. No luck so far, although Envy, again, with those double infernals, going to just keep stacking those up. Baron is on the table in 15 seconds. Envy could get creative. Try and take that one down, but again, I actually like what they're doing in general here. Roaming through, getting vision down, and Hakuo can find anybody for an ulti. It's going to be right over this time. Apollo snipes it down with the Inferno Bomb.
But at least Lorlo got the red buff.
That's true.
So he got
absolutely
the Hakuo over the wall. Oh man, 20 minutes now, 10,000 gold, double Infernal. Envy's just going to keep hunting down Team Liquid. You're wondering if there's going to be a part where they overdive on an equalizer, because that's what Team Liquid would be waiting for, but it just doesn't seem to be happening.
And even then,
even
might
then
not be enough. And this is what we saw. Envy had that big lead versus TSM. Didn't end the game in the cleanest manner possible, but still won, certainly. Just had too much of a lead. Apollo wants to finish it off. He satchels out. Matt does get himself shut down. Hakuo, goodbye. Oh, double lift actually took it instead. Ninja now diving back in as Lyra tries to snipe Piglet on the backline. Envy, a bit of a misstep there, but again, one kill's not really much to give away.
Yeah, it does stop the push. It costs all of Team Liquid's ultimates to do so. The vision control still heavily on the side. And the Satchel's going to
Never mind.
Anyway.
I thought the turret might have not been in execute range, but Apollo there just throws it in and does get the turret instead for Envy. 5-0 up in turrets, and there's a lot of gold to spend, as you can see there for Envy. Most of their gold lead, actually I guess they're 10,000 gold ahead almost, so a lot of their gold lead was contained in the gold that they've now spent. So if that looked bad before for Team Liquid, Envy are actually even further ahead than that.
And credit to Apollo. He's been able to go around and execute all those turrets pretty much. That's why he's one of the reasons he's tops for his team in gold, despite having 2 fewer kills than Ninja, as well as Furious CS, because he's just getting solo turret gold, throwing a satchel at something when no one else is around and getting the execute.
I'm pretty sure Apollo has killed 4 of the 5 turrets that Envy have taken. I think Seraph got one on his own, but I believe the rest belong to Apollo. We can check that later, but he's certainly been doing his job demolishing turrets here as Ziggs.
Yeah. It's gonna... There's that new website we were looking at earlier from the op.gg guys, best.gg, and they're attempting to come up with this performance point system that I still don't understand how it's calculated, but they have an area in there for objectives. I want to see Apollo's objective rating after this game and how it breaks the charts, because that's not normal, one person killing all the turrets in the game.
No, as Seraph is hoping somebody wants to have a play. Rainover thinks long and hard before dashing out of the way. Doesn't really want to deal with Seraph. Seraph just wants to go in instead. Envy again playing with reckless abandon.
Yeah, and I'm happy for Envy that they're having this game where everything is working. They had a game like this yesterday against TSM. It's when they won game 1. It's just a matter of being able to chain a couple of them together so they can actually pick up a match victory. Also, you hope that they can actually break the inhibitor wall, because it is just the Ziggs as far as their ability to do this, and they still haven't won the game yet. Envy's blown some big leads this year, but it looks like a relative certainty that they'll be able to close this one and get a game 3.
I mean, if nothing else, Baron should feel like an afterthought almost in this game, given how far ahead they are. In general, I just like looking down the Envy inventories. Don't look at TLs, I don't know very much right now, as the Baron is going to get better for Envy, but I think that first line tells you a lot. Triple Black Cleaver, Lidbane, Rylos.
Yeah, man, everyone has some form of damage item. Plus, you got the double Inferno right there. How many games do you see Triple Black Cleaver? Definitely very rare.
I mean, how many other defensive items do I see? I see 3 pairs of Ninja Tavi and a Giant Spell. I think that's all of the mitigation.
Yeah.
Maybe the health in Hakuo's Ice Stone there.
That's actually very true. The Hex Drinker is the only magic resist item.
There it is.
Yeah. But it is a nearly full physical team, so, you know, just build the Ninja Tabi. Cuts through lethality pretty well. Reduces 20% damage roughly from spells at this stage in the game. Roughly a 30%. It's going to change per level and based on champion.
Well, another 1-3-1 started here by Envy. We've got Seraph in the top lane. Ninja still splitting down mid. And the other 3 from Envy with the Baron buff now. I'm going to start sieging up. Look for Apollo to continue increasing that turret's destroyed metric.
Yeah.
Piglet though dealing with this Baron cannon.
Team Liquid would have wanted to try an initiation since 2 people were up top lane, but they just are so far behind they couldn't set up the play.
And Ninja so mobile when the this is a weird one. Walls are off cooldown for Talon.
True.
Looks like Envy though going to spend some gold, go back, chain vest for Lyra, wants to feel a bit safer. As Zoni's now finished for Apollo. So yeah, some big buys coming out here. Envy know they've got still 2 minutes left of the Baron buff to play with, so things should be okay. And I've got an Infernal Drake in 50 seconds as well, in case the first 2 weren't enough for the full damage team.
Triple Infernal rigged for the 5 damage team. Duskblade completed. Another defensive item completed as well for Apollo with the Zhonya's Hourglass. Going to make it difficult for Piglet to get him.
I think Lyra knows his job as well. Double Giant Spell actually kind of think that, you know what, I'm just trying to get in there, soak whatever damage I'll have so that my DPS can clean up. That's all I need to do.
Why? Just finish your Randwinds or your Dead Man's Plate. You're going to have the money.
I don't know, man.
Giant Spell costs 1,000.
It does. Seraph and Rainova doing battle. Double lift. Oh, good ult from Apollo. No. Flash from Rainova is going to save him. Didn't hit the epicenter, but Ninja snipes him down instead. Double lift flashes out to what would be necessary safety. Hako going to lock down Lolo. Lyra going to try and kick somebody back in. Envy getting real greedy, but Lyra takes down Lolo. Piglet looking for an assassination attempt. He's on to Ninja, but that's not enough at all. Looking a little wimpy on the death mark as Envy going to break the top.
Yeah, I mean, they already have the Baron, and they just took out 2 members of Team Liquid. Maybe they push through for the win. They're definitely going to try.
This is going to be one of the fastest games of the split. Oh my goodness, Apollo does so much damage with this Lit Bane. Satchel available, but not needed for this one. Maybe the next Nexus turret's going to get it as Team Liquid. They're going to try and fight their way out, but already the Nexus is exposed. Seraph getting locked down Piglet, who evaporates in the eyes of Envy. They're going to collect the kills, take the Nexus, and push us to a 6th game on the day.
Man, that game was a display for Envy. They dropped the first one in a close, hard-fought battle, and they picked for early game, and they did it. They won in early game. They finally put it together, which has been a struggle for them to do all season. Gives them a lot of momentum for Game 3.
And you know what? I think in some ways, I kind of like that they took the plan versus TSM and reduced it down even further. They're like, you know what? We did have some struggles in the late game there. TSM were playing us around the map, and we couldn't quite find a way to get the objective. Instead, like, no, not having any of that. Just go into the jungle, find somebody, kill them, and we'll figure it out from there.
Yeah, and I mean, for all the Team Liquid trying to gel with this new team, right? They still have Piglet in the mid lane. Doublelift and Matt in that game did not look to be on the same page. No success for really either of them. Dying very early on in the lane. Lyra, though, who we touched on before the series as being a top performer, really set the tone in this game and opened up the map for the rest of the team.
I think Apollo had some great setups there. Huge credit to the Ziggs. I mean, Envy are a team that are drafting it pretty consistently, at least this week. He's shown up on it in multiple games. Satchel tried to set things up for Lyra, and Lyra kind of finished the job. And from there, he ran top, got Seraph going, and every lane just felt like it was getting it all done there. So we actually are going to break the game down here as well. And we can probably start with looking at Lyra and all of the ganks he pulled off in this game, because there were a lot of them.
Yeah, exactly. There was the jungle start he was forced into where he had to go and take the enemy blue. And then Matt goes for an aggressive ward, so Lyra does the obvious thing and punishes, but great execution in this gank, getting the Q and executing. Now with Matt's flash down, Lyra comes right back in. The satchel charge was perfect from Apollo, and they actually get double lift. We expected it to be a kill on to Matt, but this was just one better. And then after that, he gets Moby Boots, and just like shot out of a cannon from the base, appears in the top lane, whereas Lorlo thought he was safe. That leads to yet another kill. Beautiful patience as Lorlo tries to walk side to side. He just walks up to him, punches him a few times, and shoots the Q from point-blank range. Can't miss. Yeah,
Lorlo, just not a whole lot to do there on the Rumble and Liquid. I like that draft. There's a lot of cool stuff going on. Like you said, we've seen the Rumble, Zed, Jhin trio in quite a number of games, but didn't get to see any of that at all in this game.
Yeah, to be fair, I was writing the breakdown last night for SKT versus KT, and that was their team competition in Game 3 of their first series with the Rumble, Zed, and Jhin. So I was like, man, they're going to do it. I know how this works. And it's like, Team Liquid is in last place. SKT is in first place in Korea. These are different environments. It didn't happen. They never got the team fight off. They just got steamrolled in the early game.
There are levels, chat. Certainly are levels. So not working out in that case for Liquid. Time for the team to reset there and kind of look down. I mean, Envy, like we said, they just need to string together multiple games like this. I think you shouldn't think about like, you should really approach it as Envy as one game at a time. You can clearly smash games or other games you flounder and look a lot worse. I think just go in, have the same plan, and just play without fear, because that's what that game looked like.
Yeah, and it's true for both teams. You have to be able to just shrug it off after every single game, because you look at some of the top teams in the league, Cloud9 and TSM, they haven't been super clean. They've dropped 10, 12 games on the year for their 20 wins, and they still have tremendous match records because they're able to react and bounce back after defeat.
Well, it's been a long day so far. It's going to get a little longer. The teams are all tied up, but only one can claim the win. Meet us back here for Game 3 of Team Liquid versus Envy.
Get away with it. Oh, man.
Matt, great satchel there from Apollo. Lyra looking to make the plays again. Flashes on, gets a slow down, and first blood does go to Malzahar. You're going to want to try and take out Matt, but Double Lift's actually tagged. Q's going to land it. He gets it. Lyra takes out his flash and his life. Hako are going to lock down Lolo. Lyra going to try and kick somebody back in. Envy getting real greedy, but Lyra takes down Lolo. Piglet looking for an assassination attempt. He's on to Ninja, but that's not enough at all. Looking a little wimpy on the death mark.